Hi guys. Okay, so for whatever reason, it doesn't let me like make this big and still have myself in the corner because I know you missed my face. So we're gonna deal with it this way. Okay, so let's go. Pre-World War II. Now remember, Hitler, Stalin, Mussolini, Hirohito, all those terrible men are in charge. We are post World War One, and we are Great Depression. So nobody has money. I mean, there's money, but there's no value behind it. Germany is suffering because of the Treaty of Versailles. Remember, the treaty said that Germany could not have a military, had to pay back reparations, had to take full guilt, even though, as a class, we discussed that it's not just Germany's fault. Everybody was at fault. Everybody participated. Everybody was there, you know. But Germany had to be like, all right, it was my bad. They tried the whole democracy thing in Germany. Didn't work because people were suffering so badly from lack of money, lack of resources, all of it. Okay. So Hitler's rising into power in Germany. Stalin, remember, kills his rival with an ice pick to the back of the head. Hirohito becomes into power because of his family. He's an emperor, so his family. And Mussolini comes into power because Italy is suffering and they go to the extreme, which is Mussolini. Okay? So here we go. Pre-World War II. What was the aggression and response of Europe before everyone was like, all right, mass chaos, war, let's do this. All right, before that all happened, okay? So, a little bit of background info for you guys. Mussolini, Hitler, Japan all saw Westerners. So, Westerners are considered France, Britain, the US, okay, west of them, okay? That's what we mean by Westerners. They all saw everyone being like, all right, we want peace. We don't want to do this anymore. We don't want another war, as a weakness, as a problem, okay? And by a problem, they mean like a problem for them, not for us, right? So if you're playing a sport and their lead scorer gets hurt, it's not a problem for you, it's a problem for them. That's what these three countries were thinking by the Westerners being like, all right, we don't want war. So they responded with what's called aggression. Now let's go into what aggression is. Aggression is a hostile or violent behavior or attitude towards another. Can you have aggression towards another human being? Oh, of course you can. Some of you had that aggression before we left. And now that we're not at a campus, nobody has aggression towards each other. Everybody gets along. Don't tell me otherwise. I don't want to hear it, okay? So what happens exactly? Well, Japan takes over Manchuria, which is in China. The League of Nations, remember the idea that Woodrow Wilson came up with to like police the world, but not really have power? Was just kind of like, shame, don't do that. And Japan was like, bye, I don't want anything to do with you. You're going to tell me what I'm doing is wrong? Well, what you're doing is wrong, and I don't want to be a part of it. Okay. Then Italy sees that, and Italy goes, Ethiopia. League of Nations goes, no, we will stop trading with you. Italy goes, cool, try me. And then Germany. Germany goes against the treaty. Okay. How did they do that? They start building up their military. Remember, they were demilitarized. No military. They had to give up their tanks, their weapons, soldiers, all of it. But they really didn't. Okay. Let's go into a little bit more detail. Oh, before I move on. Your picture on your screen, right? This dog with a muzzle, and it says League of Nations, the dog of war. So this is what we call a political cartoon. What it is trying to tell you is the dog of war itself was trying to be muzzled or controlled or silenced by the League of Nations. Did it actually happen? We shall see, okay? So Japan wanted an empire similar to the West, to France, to Britain. Not necessarily the United States because we didn't really have an empire at this point, but to France and to Britain. So they took over Manchuria in 1931. Okay, so Japan is here. Okay, and they control Korea at this point, the Korean Peninsula. But they took over all of this in orange. Okay, They kind of left the green alone, but eventually they took over everything in purple as well. So Japan started conquering, expanding. Okay. Remember Tomo and Hirohito? Those two guys. They are responsible for this. Tomo. I don't know where I got Tomo from. Colonized areas in the Southeast Asia with no intervention from the League. League did nothing. They knew it was happening and they were like, okay, you do you. We're leaving you alone. Okay, so Japan started doing this and everyone was just kind of like, all right, cool. We're going to be over here. Okay. Also, if I get too fast, just hit pause. You can listen to me over and over again, which I'm sure you guys all really want to do. So in Italy, Mussolini, our favorite non-sexy mustache leader, he invaded Ethiopia, Northeast Africa, for imperialist reasons, okay? Ethiopians fought back, but what is one thing we discovered with imperialism? The natives don't necessarily have the same... Sorry, my dog is sitting underneath me and just kicked me. Natives don't necessarily have the same technology as the Europeans. Case in point, Ethiopia and Italy. So the League of Nations placed sanctions or restrictions or rules on Italy. Okay? But they were like, okay, no, you can't do this. You cannot do this. And Italy was like, okay, so what you gonna do? And League of Nations is like, no, bad. Then that's it. So Hitler sees all of this going on. Remember, he is not an original, he's a copycat. Remember the gulags? Copied those. Right? Secret police, Stalin. Okay? So Hitler gets his ideas from everybody else and makes them 10 times worse. So here we go. Sorry, I'm drooling. It's early. So in Germany, we have a thing called the Third Reich. Now, what do I mean by that? The German government, okay? Technically we're on the Fourth Reich now because they've had 4 forms of government, right? They had the pre-World War I, democracy, this government, and then they have another one now. But we're on the third, okay? So every time you hear that, think German government, because we will be watching videos. So Germany, my dog just kicked me again. I apologize, guys. Germany built up their government. They built up their military. They were doing everything they were told not to do by the treaty. They even sent troops into the Rhineland. The Rhineland is right here. And it was taken over by France when Germany couldn't pay France the reparations that were demanded. Well, Germany was like, with its little troops and was like, try me, okay? See what's going to happen. Guess what happened? Whole lot of nothing. Okay, that was in 1936. So Hitler waits and is like, nothing's happening to me? Cool, let's do it again. Let's give that living space, that Lebensraum. Okay, remember that from prior to all of this? Flashback a little bit. Okay. So in 1938, Hitler felt that Germany had the right to the lands in Eastern Europeans because the Aryans, the white Germans, are superior, racial superiority, okay? Remember we talked about racism. Remember we talked about white man's burden, right? Was kind of like the stepping stone to like all of this, right? Well, here we go. Aryans, superior. They're genetically superior. Like they're the best of the best. Their ish don't stink kind of situation, okay? He also wanted the natural resources that Eastern Europe had. What does that sound like? Imperialism should be ringing in your brains because we went over that quite a bit. Okay. He wanted the resources for the industrialization of his country. Imperialism, Industrial Revolution, World War I. Repeat. Okay. Imperialism, going after countries. Industrialization, World War II. Okay. Here we go. So Austria, down here in the red, right? Remember, Austria-Hungary was paired with Germany during World War I? Well, Austria became its own independent country. Austria was annexed or taken by Germany. So Austria was like, no, thank you. I'm good. We don't need you. Like, we're fine. We're figuring this whole independency thing out on our own. No, thank you. Hitler was like, you don't tell me no. I do what I want. I'm freaking Hitler. So he walks in and squashes the opposition, which means sent military troops to kill anybody who opposed him. Did not care. Western countries, again, France, Britain, the United States, we knew what was going on. And we were just like, all right, cool. This is cool. Cool. No big. So then, oh yeah, it still gets worse, guys. So then we have the Czechoslovakian crisis, or the Czech crisis. 3 million Germans lived in the Sudetenland, which is right here in this like cream color, which is located in Czechoslovakia. Okay, Czechoslovakia is its own country. Yes, it's a real country that still stands to this day. We call it Czech. It was democratic, but France and Britain still did the act of appeasement, which means, okay, if we just give Hitler what he wants, maybe he'll calm down and we don't have to go to war. If we keep giving Hitler what he wants, maybe he'll be satisfied and we'll be good. Things will be good. Yeah, it's not really how the world works, but it's how they thought it was going to work, okay? Convinced Czech to give in to Hitler. Britain and France did, because they were like, all right, just give in. We won't fight a war. And Hitler was like, okay. I think it's called the Berlin-Munich conference. No, wrong conference. My bad. Really, sorry. At a conference, Hitler was like, okay. He met with Britain and France, and he was like, okay, I'll stop. And they're like, okay, cool. Like, everybody's good. We won't go to war. Cool. Okay, that was supposed to be like a cool picture, but it's cool, guys. We're learning as we go, right? Okay, so appeasement. The act of giving in to the aggressor to avoid conflict. So the League finally was like, okay, took over the Rhineland, took over the Sudetenland, took over Austria, and took over Czech. Okay, he has all this land that he needs. He'll just stop. He'll stop. He said he would, so he will. Here's why they wanted him to stop. France was in the middle of political turmoil. They didn't really have a strong government. Their country was still in ruins from World War I because most of the battles were in France. So people were displaced, people were still injured. Things were a hot mess. Britain wanted to mind its own business. Britain was kind of like, all right, we kind of flipped the bill for World War I. We bailed everybody out. We don't want any of your drama. Save your drama for your mama. Like, keep it over there. Others thought it was okay since the treaty was kind of harsh. Everyone's like, oh, Germany's just doing what they got to do because they were kind of screwed over. Ooh. Okay. Everybody understand that one? Now, here's back to my political cartoon. Okay. This guy, Hitler, he's stepping on the spineless leaders of democracy. France, Britain, United States is in there. Ooh, too fast. Why the West wanted appeasement. Okay, pretty much what I already told you guys. You can pause it here if you need to read this, but I'm going to pretty much go over all of it. So Axis powers form. These three gentlemen with the sexy mustaches get together and they decide, okay, communism is the worst. Like, we're good. We are good people, but that Stalin, oh, he's terrible. Communism is the worst thing to ever happen to the world. We are all socialists, different form of socialism, but we are all socialists, and we're the best. Communism sucks. But they also agreed not to interfere with each other's ideas of expansion, conquering, annexing, whatever you want to call it. They're like, you do you, boo. Okay. So here we go. Pacifism. is the thing where it's like, I'm against war, period. I'm against war completely. War stinks. Okay.